ladies and gentlemen. We are here, HESN Football Podcast, episode 5. I don't know. HESN Football Podcast. I'm here with Jesse Card. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. I don't know what episode it is either, but
it doesn't matter. It's HESN Football Podcast. We're here talking football. Another amazing week of football in the nation's capital. This is really a football town, we always talk about that, but we got a professional football team, 2 university teams, the largest amateur football association in Canada. Apparently we got high school starting up. I don't know when exactly we are, but we got that football. That's more football going on. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I feel blessed being a guy that played football his whole life, and at the end of the day, I love football just so much. Other sports are great. I get into the Sens. Yeah. I get into hockey. I love showing support for that team too, but at the end of the day, it's all about football.
I find myself a lot of times at this time of year just trying to this, that, blah, blah, and then I just pause and I say, football's the best. I do that often. So football is the best, and that's why we do the HESN Football Podcast. That's why NCAFA.tv exists, because football is wicked, and we want to make sure that kids keep playing it and play it safe, and we want to make sure people get the recognition they deserve. So the first thing we're going to get to today on this week's episode of the HESN Football Podcast is we're going to talk a little bit about the first HESN event that happened on Sunday, September 20th in the morning, where we had a whole bunch of HESN athletes and their families and some coaches from the city, and they came into the House Edge Media headquarters, and we talked football, and we talked about the future of these athletes. We talked about to St. James Preparatory School, Coach Root. Great time. Talk to us a little bit about how you felt the event went, Jesse.
Yeah, I think it was a very positive experience for everyone that came through. I heard nothing but positive feedback on the value that we gave them with those interviews that we did, and also just getting a group of like-minded individuals together to talk about how we can all be better, not just better as a community of football people, but also how can we equip the next generation of players with all the resources and all the tools and all the support that they may need to advance to the next level. And it was an eye-opener, I think, for a lot of kids that were here, because the number one thing that was driven home, and maybe to the dislike of players, is academics and school. And when you're 15 years old and you just want to play football and you want to think about everything football, but schools kind of just gets in the way of football, and many times I think athletes think about. But you hear it straight from the source. This isn't you, Tyler, telling them. This isn't me, Jesse, telling them. This isn't their coach telling them. This is the guy from St. James Preparatory School in Maryland in the USA that played his ball in the USA, telling you this is how it works, guys. So you're going to need your marks. You're going to need the whole package. You're going to need impeccable character, and it was good to be able to present that completely non-biased opinion.
It was great, and you know what? I thought it was a fantastic success, and it was just our first one. We are going to be holding another one. We're going to be holding one every month, at least one a month, going forward. We're going to be having one closer to the end of October, mid to late October, but we will be having another one. This is an open house invitation. Any single person that is interested in becoming an HESN member, or if you're currently an HESN member, or if you just want to learn about what options there are for athletes in football and other sports, these are open house meetings, so make sure you guys stay on top of the HESN blog. We got lots of great information going up there. Check our social media, give us a call, send us an email. Next one will be mid to late October. We will be reviewing the St. James Prep School stuff with Coach Root again, but we're going to be profiling another school coming up, and we'll be updating you guys in the next couple weeks about what school that's going to be. So the first HESN event was a huge success. We look forward to having many more athletes come and join us next event, which will be mid to late October, and we'll talk about that as the weeks go on. The other bit of news that we wanted to talk about was the official partnership that House Edge Media, House Edge Sports Network, and Elite Performance Academy have forged. They are our official training partner of House Edge Media and of the House Edge Sports Network, and we couldn't be happier. This is something that we've been really looking for over the last 5 years, was an official training partner that sort of had the same vision of what we wanted to be doing with athletes and where we wanted to be leading and guiding athletes. Talk to us a little bit about how great it is to be working with EPA and what we hope to accomplish in the future.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we're just stoked. The HESN brand that we've built over the last 6 months, really trying to create something that's never been done before in amateur sports, and to be able to align ourselves with another company that does things that we don't do, which is the training of the athletes, the expert knowledge on nutrition and training, and the psychological elite mindset that's required to make it to the next level and continue to make it to the next level. We found it with the Elite Performance Academy. So it's actually a funny story, because we originally, when we thought about doing this is when we were just getting going. The first guys that we called were Pat Woodcock, and
it's a true story.
And because being an Ottawa guy, I grew up watching Pat Woodcock play in the CFL, and knowing his track record, that's who I would have been training with if he was around when I was going through it. So to be able to finally have this thing come full circle is a blessing, and also we couldn't be more excited about to see where we can take Ottawa football together over the next 10, 20 years.
And Donnie, we love you too, man. Don't worry about it. We love you too, brother. But for local guys in Ottawa, Pat Woodcock really is a legend. And then, I'm not just saying that because we are working together now, and we have been working together for the last 6 months, but like Jesse just said, when I was a kid, there was basically 2 football players whose names will always stay. It's Pat Woodcock and Jesse Palmer. Yeah. Because I was a quarterback and I played for Myers, and when I went there with Coach Delahunt, they gave me Jesse Palmer's jersey number 7, and they're like, okay, Ty, you're going to wear this jersey. You're going to be the next Jesse Palmer and all this stuff. And those are the names I remember.
Yeah.
And it's great to be working with Pat. We're really, really excited to do some unbelievable things. Just stay tuned, guys, because we're just scratching the surface. Yeah. It's going to be fantastic.
Well, and to that point, we were fortunate to have Coach Woodcock out at the practice last 2 nights ago for the Bell Warriors Bantam. He talked to the group, and we've got a lot of guys that I think have great potential, but that next level is something that not many people reach, right? Like, to be able to get to that next level, it requires so much dedication. And he was looking, and practice is important, because if the eyes are watching, if scouts are watching, if you want to get to that next level and you want an opportunity at a scholarship, whether it be in Canada or the U.S., it takes the full package athlete, and that's what EPA is preaching. They're talking about potentially giving an athlete that deserves it and is able to work and do all the things and attention to all the detail. They're going to reward an offensive defensive player a full ride to train with them. And that is just such an awesome opportunity. I imagine if I had that when I was playing, I'd be all over it. So
it's amazing.
So it's like Tyler said, there's a lot of great things coming down the pipe, and we're excited to explore that.
And if you guys are interested in learning more about Elite Performance Academy, you guys can go to their website. I believe it's eliteperformanceacademy.ca.
Yeah.
You guys can also go to the HESN YouTube channel and check out The Difference, which we've been creating for them. The last and final episode of the first season will be coming out in the next week. But that's just the beginning. We're going to be doing tons more going forward. Stay tuned for season 2 starting early December. So we got some great stuff coming with EPA. So we want to give a shout out to them for helping HESN build out the best infrastructure that the kids are going to need. So thank you very much, EPA, and we look forward to doing some great things. Time for some football talk. Now that we got that little intro out of the way, we are going to sit down and we're going to talk all the football that happened locally that has nothing to do with NCAFA. And like every week, we're going to start in the OUA. We're going to start with the Ottawa.
Could I just interrupt you there for a second?
You can certainly interrupt me for a second.
Did you see that the Justin Phillips inspired hats, New Era hats?
I did not.
Are now available.
Okay.
Check them out. So Justin Phillips designed that.
All right.
And it's got the Parliament under the beak.
I like it.
It's sweet.
That's wicked.
So
we need to get that out there.
I texted Justin today admittedly on the drive home.
Yeah.
And I said, do you get more money if I buy it directly from you? And he's like, I wish. I don't get any money from it.
Okay.
But nonetheless, I said, man, I love the design. I'm getting one.
Yeah.
It's 2 axes with the R. It's wicked.
We will have something on our blog start tomorrow about these awesome products that local legend Justin Phillips has. A new father, by the way. Congratulations there. Beautiful. Believe it's a son.
Okay.
I believe so. So he's going to have another little football player. Maybe him and Taichi will be playing one day.
Nice.
On a football team. But we'll be putting up about that. Another local guy doing great person doing great things here in football. But we're going to, before we get after that, we're going to get to the GGs right now.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the GGs. We're going to talk quickly about how their weekend went last week. They won 52-24 over Windsor. From all reports, it was a disappointing 52-24 win, if there ever could be such a thing. I do believe in the OUA there are such things as disappointing blowouts, because the competition, like we've talked about, sometimes can be there's a bit of discrepancy between the top teams and the bottom teams. But a win nonetheless, 52-24.
Was that at home?
It was, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But let's assume it was not, because I believe they've had a few. They had Queens at home.
Yeah.
I think they had another game at home. I think the Panda game's at home. Right. Let's say they're at Windsor, and then they're going to be at Guelph this week. So big test for Ottawa U this week. They're going to be at Guelph, who just had a huge win over McMaster, 33-23. And from all accounts of that game, it seems like Guelph dominated. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I think I heard that the points that the Marauders were able to put up were at the end, and they were kind of garbage. So Guelph is definitely emerging as a powerhouse. It's I heard their toughest decision to make leading up to that game was what uniform to wear.
Yeah. Until the rules have been altered to not allow that decision to be made, since they can only have 3. Nonetheless, GGs have a big game at Guelph this weekend, so make sure you guys tune into OUA.tv if you're going to be at home. Check out the game if you're a GG supporter or you want to see how they do against Guelph. The other Ottawa team, the Carleton Ravens, squeaked out a win against U of T last week. I think that's a game. Doesn't matter if you won 50-0 or 13-12. They won 19-16. A win is a win. That really pretty much puts Toronto out of it. I assume they probably have a few tough games. I know they have Ottawa as well. So tough way sort of to go down there. But big win for Carleton in my eyes. I think that it was really important to get that W and give themselves a chance. They're at Western next week. I don't believe they're going to be able to win that game, but I do believe they will show well. I believe that.
Last time, if I'm not mistaken, they played Western was first year,
and it was 79.
And it was week 1.
Yeah,
and it was an ugly affair. But
Coach Marshall was a little pissed off that
they took Bahar.
Yeah,
they got Bahar from him. But nonetheless, I agree. I think that's going to be that's not a game that they're probably going to win. But it's also probably an important piece in the puzzle for their evolution.
Confidence and motivation.
Yeah, like 3 wins in a row is 3 wins in a row.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, like you said, how they get it. They got to go in there. They got to really realize that they're year 3. And Western, the way they're playing this year, is it is what it is. But if they can get something out of that, whether it's a W or not, if they can learn something, if they can use that as a building block, then I think that's important.
I agree. And I think they will. I have confidence that the Carleton Ravens are going to go out and avenge a little bit that first year game where Greg Marshall humiliated them. So I believe they're going to be very angry, and I believe that they're going to put out a good showing. I think Western wins 44-24. That's what I think the final score will be, something around there.
Fair, yeah.
I think it'll be close in the third quarter, sort of like the Carleton game versus McMaster last year.
That's what I was going to say.
That's how I think it's going to turn out. I think that when you look at the game film,
like at halftime they'll be like, "Holy shit, we're in this."
In the third quarter, we'll
excuse my language.
Yeah, in the third quarter, I think it's going to be close. I do think the talent level and the veteran savvy that the Western Mustangs have can't compete against a young squad at Carleton, but we'll see. Proof's in the pudding. We'll see what happens. So make sure you guys check that OUA.tv as well. Great action going on there. The other team, Ottawa Sooners. They had a bye week this week, so not much to talk about there, but they have a game in Burlington, Nelson High School, I believe that's where they play. So if anyone's around Toronto, you can check that out. Sooners have a game. They're 3-1. They'll probably end up winning this game. I don't believe Burlington's a strong team. I know that the Sooners are starting a new quarterback that we're excited to see play. So make sure you guys keep an eye on the HESN athlete.
Graham Kelly.
And he can hopefully light it up this week.
Yeah,
get a chance.
absolutely.
You know,
absolutely. You got to
he's
go out there. You
exciting.
got to have fun. You got to go out there and just gunsling, right?
That's right.
Like, I believe that they're probably with that bye week got a lot of time to prepare him well.
6'7", 250 to kick and sling, and I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Watching him throw the football is some beauty. So make sure you guys. I don't know how you can check the stats or update, but whatever. We'll talk about it on the next week's podcast and tell you how it goes because the website's still not updated with the scores except from week 2.
They're 1-0 still, according to the website.
No, 1-1. Sorry, 1-1 according to the website. So as soon as people get on it. The last thing we'll talk about really quickly. We don't usually talk about the Red Blacks, but they're killing it and it's awesome. And I'm really proud of the guys. And I guess
Jovan Johnson, baby. Or sorry, the running back, Jeremiah Johnson.
Jovan Johnson's good too.
Yeah, for sure. But
He's killing it too.
But that number 27 is an X factor.
Well, let's not forget about 35 for 25, 477 yards, 2 touchdowns, Henry Burris, like the guy that we have said.
Yeah.
With a team around him, with a good O-line, with receivers, a defense playing well, and a whole bunch of other stuff, he can play football still. He's thrown 1,300 yards in the last 3 weeks. Okay, so it's pretty unbelievable. They are 7-4. Are they 7-4? Yeah, they're 7-4, and they have 4 straight home games coming up.
And second place next to Hamilton.
And Collaros is out for the year.
And Collaros and 15 Ryan whatever is going in now for them.
So I'm really
we're positioned pretty well here, but a huge game against the Argos.
We're gonna have a home playoff game. I'm calling it right now.
Oh,
we are gonna have a home playoff game. We are gonna be at 10 wins after this homestand. We are gonna win 3 of the 4 games. We are going to be at 10 wins. We're going to be 10-5 after this homestand. And I believe that we will finish the season. I think we can have 11 wins. I really believe we can have 11 wins. I think Hamilton will drop off without Collaros. I do believe they're going to drop off. I think Toronto will get better.
Yeah.
I think Montreal is going to play well because they got Crompton in there.
We're all right in that pack.
But I will say Henry Burris, Jeremiah Johnson, the defensive secondary that we have best in the league, definitely, bar none. And our D-line is really aggressive. They disrupt the pass. That allows the defensive backs to be successful because they're always someone in the quarterback's face. But like you mentioned, Jeremiah Johnson stabilizing the offense, getting first downs to allow Henry Burris and the team to continue a drive and get that 18-yard completion.
And you know what? I've been watching all the behind-the-scenes stuff that they're putting out there, and it looks like he's also stepping into a leadership role. I think that he's got some more confidence behind him where the team recognizes that this is something that this team needs, and they're rallying behind him. And now he's starting to step up and address the team, and he's really feeling like he's got a home here in Ottawa, I think, which is helping the whole cause.
And I think let alone that, he now can say and really talk because now he's backing it up with his actions on the field. Nothing used to tick me off more than when people would be talking, but then the game goes out there and they're terrible. You got to be able to back it up on the field, and I think that Henry Burris has been doing that this year.
Well, all I can say, Tyler, is the weather's going to get cold, so get out the flannel because it's on, baby.
Get out the flannel and go buy one of those Justin Phillips toques.
Yeah.
And you'll be warm as all heck.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do the Pee Wee Bantam and Midget Power Rankings. It's going to be great for NCAFA.
Woo!
We're looking for athletes who want to become the best. They don't have to be the best now. We're looking for guys who are willing to fully immerse themselves in the process, trust what we're trying to give them, and that are ready to come and work each and every day. It's grind, right? We go 6 days a week for 12 to 14 weeks, depending on how the season plays out. It just like a training camp, it starts to grind after a little while. So we're looking for guys that have the right mindset, the guys that walk the walk and don't just talk the talk. There's lots of guys, we talk a lot about the guys who like the idea of being a football player. They're the football jacket guys, right? The guys that want to have the jacket so they can say they play football. We're looking for the guys that really want to play the game.
Welcome back, everybody. Tyler McLaren from the HESN Football Podcast. The voice that you just heard, that's Pat Woodcock, co-owner of Elite Performance Academy. He is looking for athletes right now to register for his off-season training program. If you want more information about how to do that and what they offer at their facility, go to eliteperformanceacademy.ca, or you can go to hesn.co, contact us through there, and we can give you guys all the information that you need. That is eliteperformanceacademy.ca. Go and check them out. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the HESN Football Podcast. We are back. Power rankings time. We're going to get right into it. We're going to start with the Bantam division. Nothing's changed at the top. We got the West Carleton Wolverines holding it down. Another dominating performance this week. I don't know who they played, but they smoked them. I think it was Canada. It was like 70-0.
Canada, yeah.
So, at the end of the day, West Carleton, as I said, I still think they're the best team. Fundamentally sound. Great O-line. Solid defense. Best running back.
They're making a push.
Yeah. So, everyone watch out. Number 2, Bel Air. Squeaked out a win on the score, 21-18 against you guys this weekend. I think they played pretty well. But you guys moved the ball. And their defense is not as ferocious as it has been. They got some great players. Liam Paquette,
Liam is a heck of a player. I really just every week I watch him and I'm more and more impressed. I think this kid has a future.
He does
in the sport. It's
their
great. It's exciting to watch players like that.
But they got the win. And their quarterback is a good player. Their quarterback,
he played really well.
Just throwing the football, but he ran the read option real well. He got you guys like.
Oh, he was emotional.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Spiked the ball.
He spiked the ball. He took the flag, and you know what? I saw that. I'm like, good for him.
Yeah, but you're a coach, so don't let your kids hear you say that. But
if any way you guys do it, I'll kill you.
But nonetheless, I do think the Bel Air Lions and the West Carleton Wolverines are the two best teams, hand down, in Bantam football this year. If they could play in the finals, that would be great. I know Nepean Redskins and Myers Riders played in the final. No, but they played back in the day, when they were the Redskins. Yeah. So 2 West teams have played in the final before, so just keep an eye on that. Rito Red Blacks, I had them at 3, but I pulled an audible because I believe the Bengals are the 3rd best team now in Bantam football. I believe that Kean Williams is arguably the best back. I think.
You think he's getting better and better as the weeks go on? Is the O-line and the offense on the Bengals, are they gelling a bit more?
I think the whole team is gelling. I think they're gaining confidence. I think.
Well, we know that they got a huge acquisition in the last week.
Like Corte Moore.
Like that right there is a huge difference maker. He's an HESN guy. He's got huge potential, huge upside.
And he's just getting. I know he's training right now. I know he's a full-time skier, so he's always staying physically active all year round.
He just came back from Chile.
Just was in Chile, Chilli, and.
Spelling isn't my forte. Thanks for airing that on the podcast.
No, that just made me laugh. That was one of the funniest things.
Moving on.
Nonetheless, Lake Corte Moore is an awesome football player. He's now on the Bengals. With him being added to the team, I got them being number 3. Got the Rito Red Blacks at 4, like I always talked about. Fundamentally sound.
They're going to be a playoff team, yeah.
They're solid. So big team there. Myers at number 5.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel they're 4-1, so I'm not trying to hate on them or everything. But I do not believe that they are a true 4-1 team. I know they beat you 7-6. That game was a coin flip.
Our defense pretty much shut them down 100%.
So I know their only loss was to the defending champions. But nonetheless, I have Myers Riders at 5. The biggest mover and shaker this week is the Cumberland Panthers.
Yep.
They've been playing well.
Yep.
Mark Willette's sort of righted the ship there a little bit. I don't know what's happened or transpired positively or negatively, but I do know they've won some football games. They've won them pretty well, and I'm excited to I think they're playing right now. They're actually playing right now at Millennium Field, so we'll be able to see in a couple hours.
They're playing the Lions.
The game's probably over, and we're recording this podcast right now because it's Wednesday night. So let's check it out because Jesse's going to go on his phone. He's going to check the score. If they've updated, they probably haven't updated it on the website now, but maybe on Twitter it could be there. So we're going to take a check. But at the end of the day, the Panthers have done some great moving up in the power rankings. Number 7, unfortunately, the Bell Warriors have lost 3 in a row. They've had some injuries and some nicks and bruises that have allowed people maybe not to be performing at their fullest potential. But nonetheless, don't count these guys out yet. They got a great quarterback and they got some great athletes. Just a matter of sort of putting it all together and squeaking out a W. The other team that moved up a lot in our rankings was the Nepean Eagles. They got their first win this week. I know they're 1-3. I know they've had some. They just lost to you guys week 1. They've had some trouble transitioning with the coaching staff and losing a lot of players up to the dominating midget team.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I think they are still right up there. And if they were to maybe find a way to win 2 or 3 games and get Honoré in the playoffs,
Honoré, like he's a difference maker, and like if they can just click a bit more, they get They know what kind of plays they want to run. If their offense gets even 10% better, they're a scary team.
And don't forget, Unreal is an unbelievable athlete. He hasn't played quarterback that much. He is playing quarterback this year, so it's a learning curve for him to learn how to operate as a quarterback. I think he's doing a damn good job, if you ask me. So those are the top 8 that we got. West Carleton, Bel Air, Rito, Bengals, switch it up, Bengals, Rito, Myers, Panthers, Warriors, Eagles. That's our Bantam power rankings. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you guys reach out to us on Twitter, social media, through our blog, email, phone us, whatever. Tell us what you like or don't like about that power rankings. We're going to move to the midget division. Obviously, number 1, the Nepean Eagles. We can't argue that they're undefeated, defending champions. Number 2 was the Norsemen. They put their stamp. We got nothing on the Bantam game, but we'll have that for you guys. You guys check out the score later tomorrow and check it out. But Norsemen, obviously, with a huge win against the Stamps last Friday night. 17-0. Good football game, though.
Up until halftime, it was pretty, no one was really breaking it open at that point.
No, and there was, the wind was a huge factor that night, and there was an opportunity for the Stamps to really take control of the game early on. But
they threw a pick, did they?
No, they missed a field goal.
Right.
They hit the upright.
Yeah.
And then basically the next play, Quinn Stewart dropped back through a 95-yard touchdown.
And you know what? I just have to say,
Perry.
I love the play call when there's a change of possession like that, a quick change of possession, and you just go swing for the fences.
I think it's worth it, especially in 4-down football. Because you have another 2 chances, right? So I thought it was a great play call. I thought it was perfectly executed.
Beautiful pass. Hit Dylan Perry in stride.
Threw it early, but threw it far. And if I can tell any quarterbacks throwing the fade route or throwing it deep, throw it early and throw it higher. Give your receiver an opportunity. Dylan was really smart though. Watch it on the replay. He wasn't sprinting full speed. He sort of set the guy up, not jogging, but
turn on the jets.
The last second, he turned on the jets to catch it, and that's the trick, right? If you're running full speed the whole time, the quarterback won't have the time. He can't throw it 65 yards. Quinn threw that ball 45 yards, but he threw it when the receiver was only about 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. Great execution, and that was the game really right there.
That broke it open because after that, you could tell the Stamps just stalled.
They did.
And then we head into the late third, early fourth.
Yeah.
The running game takes over for the Norsemen.
And that was the game. So it was a huge win by the Norsemen.
And I think that was the Bel Air Lion that won the championship last year, Santos.
Santos had a couple carries.
Okay.
Santos had a couple carries.
Who's number 2?
Number 2 is Meach.
Okay.
His name's Meach.
I was very impressed with that guy.
He's a good player.
His footwork was very impressive. Just being able to.
He's patient.
Yeah, he's patient and also just very agile.
Yeah, I think that if again you guys go watch that tape because that old line was really good too. They made some things, but I'm calling Meach out. Meach, go register at HESN.co. We need to know more about you, son. You're a good player. Reach out to HESN because we would love to get you a highlight tape, get you recognized because you got some skills, bro.
Yeah, where are you going next?
I don't know. He can go. I think if I guarantee he's not training properly. No one trained him properly. So I guarantee he's not training properly.
Okay.
So I would love to see that guy working with EPA. I would love to see Pat get his hands on that guy for 6 months and see what he could do. So, but Stamps are still number 3 on the podcast, on the power rankings on the midget division. Got the Rito Red Black.
Big game for them as well. They're facing the Eagles.
Don't think they're going to be able to win it, but again, I think it's a little bit like Carleton Ravens versus Western. How can they perform? How can they contest with the powerhouse and the juggernaut? And then for the rest of the teams in midget division, I think the rest of the teams are all bunched together. I think any day the Red Blacks, the Giants, the Bengals, and Cornwall could all win. So, and Canada. I think they're all sort of right there and win. So Eagles, Norsemen, Stamps, I think those are the only true teams competing for the championship. The rest of the guys could all potentially win, but they won't beat those other teams. In the Pee Wee division, we had a little bit of change, not quite at the top. We're going to keep our rankings the same.
1 and 2.
1 and 2 are the same. Collision course, like we talked about.
Panthers, Warriors.
Panthers, Warriors. Number 1 Panthers, number 2 Warriors.
Both undefeated.
And there's another undefeated
team. And they played last week of the season.
3 teams are undefeated,
They played last week of the season.
They do play last week of the season.
At Millennium.
Fantastic.
It's going to be fun.
HSN will be there. I guarantee you that. Canada Knights are undefeated too.
Yep.
And we tried to get out there one time. We had a little bit of scheduling issues there a few weeks ago, but we will get those Pee Wee Knights because I want to see them play.
Yeah.
I got the Bengals being the 4th ranked team in Pee Wee.
Okay, so the Bengals are bouncing up on both divisions.
They're playing well. The Bengals, they've had some tough games early in the season, but man, after watching last week's game, not just, I can't remember who they played, but they played well and they played hard.
West Carleton right now, right?
And they played well.
They did, and West Carleton is a good team.
They're a solid team.
Yeah.
And so that's a huge win.
We got to give a shout out to Nathan Cash.
Nathan Cash.
Who's an HESN guy where he's
Yeah.
going to have a highlight coming out. He's pretty serious about taking his football career to the highest level. And once again, 3 weeks in a row, he's a difference maker on that team.
He had his best game of the year last week. And he had one of the best games I've seen a defensive player have this year that I've seen in the 50 games that we filmed. He was all over the field.
Yeah.
And he wasn't just there. He was making plays. He wasn't intercepting the pass, but he was stuffing the run. He was contributing to the overall success of the defense. It was a great game. So a shout out to Nathan Cash. Just keep balling, baby. Love it. Giants are the 5th ranked team. They were undefeated. They lost last week. They're now the 5th ranked team. And then I got Rito, West Carleton, Raiders, and Cornwall all jumbled together 5-8. I don't know. They're all 2 and 3. Any of those guys can win on a single day. It's going to be exciting to see how it all shakes out. But those are our power rankings for the Pee-wee, the Bantam, and the Midget division. As always, if you have any problem with that, we are here for you guys to lay it on thick. Let us know what you think. That's all we want to see. We want to start a conversation. We want to get people talking about it. And I know Mike Polito was not too impressed with the fact that I had the Warriors number 2. But
what'd you tell him?
I told him that have you ever beat the Panthers? Heads up.
The old Jeff Karate.
Jeff
team.
Karate. They've been I guess I know. I don't know if they've coached because I think was Polito at Mosquito previously. Or has he been at Pee-wee?
No, he was at Pee-wee. They faced off in the championship last year. Remember?
Mosquito, though. Karate was in Mosquito.
No. Oh, yeah, that's right.
So karate was in Mosquito, even though it was Bell. But nonetheless, it's great. I think they're relatively equal. I'm just going to throw the hat to the defending Mosquito champs and the experience they got. But that's our power rankings. Anything else that we wanted to talk about in the HESN football podcast this week, Jesse?
I like it. I like the show.
It's a good one.
I think it's put together well. I'm just excited to see how everything shakes down, and I can't wait for that November weekend.
Yeah.
When we got the A-Cup championships coming around.
It's going to be the best. We want to thank everybody for joining us on the HESN Football Podcast. For Jesse Card, I'm Tyler McLaren. Thank you for listening. I'm out of here. Peace.